Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone. So, remember last week when we got a message about the handbag?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen the picture.
So, yeah. So, one of our listeners told us that her husband got her a leather handbag for an anniversary gift, but she really didn't like it. She didn't know how to tell him. So, she's actually sent us the picture of the handbag. Okay?
Right.
So,
Can I just say, before we go any further, I don't think it's that bad. What do you think?
Right. It looks like Nanny Lizzie's shopper.
Yeah, it's like a bucket.
It's a nan's bag.
Plain shopper. Yeah, I get it.
Right. It's not offensive, but it's not a nice gift that you think, like if your husband buys you a present or something, you think a little bit more different but this is like a purpose-built bag. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you.
It is a bit of a shopper, isn't it?
It's Nanny Lizzie's shopper.
It is.
I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with. I've probably got something really similar somewhere. It's just not really. I get it. I get where she's coming from. I get that she didn't really love the bag, and would rather something
Poor
else.
guy.
So, yeah, poor guy. So anyway, how are you, and what have you been up to?
So I've actually smashed it this week. I've done the school run 3 times on my own for all 3 children. Kids in.
How comes?
Kids in on time. Do you know what? I had a couple of things that were straight after the school run. So I was like, right, I've got this. So I was kind of I was getting up super early, getting myself ready, bathing the baby. Obviously, Paul was helping me getting the kids ready and out the door. But we've been on time, and basically this is like the first sort of week I've done that, like on my own in the morning with all 3 in the car.
Yeah.
And what happens with we have to drop. I have to. Yeah, it is. It is. I was like, this is like a new milestone. So we have to drop Paul the main school, then drop Rosie at the lower school. So it's 2 different drop-offs as well.
Oh, 2 different drop-offs.
So 2 lots of getting out with Edward in the car seat pram thing.
So they don't do my school doesn't do this either, but some schools do. They do like a drop-off thing where the teachers get them out of the car.
No,
school doesn't do that.
No. So we have to pull into Paul's school, all get out, take Paul to the school gates, get back in the car, drive probably a couple minutes. The traffic's terrible. Poor Rosie has to sit in all that traffic going down the hill to the lower school. And then get Edward out again, going. But it's been absolutely fine. I've been timing it, so basically he gets up quite early at the moment with me anyway, around 6ish, and then as soon as we leave the front door, he's fast asleep. So it's like that. I've got the timing right.
It's a good routine.
It's a good routine.
Also, the morning routine is quite. I feel like the morning school drop off, I much prefer to the afternoon drop off.
Because I feel
pickup, sorry.
I agree, because I feel like the morning it is always the same. In the afternoon, things might be different. And some days Paul has clubs. Sometimes, Rosie has gymnastics on a Monday. There's all these different pickups in the afternoons. But mornings are always the same.
Yeah, it's like you drop them off and that's it. You're done. You go out. You're out for the day.
That's
go
it.
And do whatever you got to do.
That's it. And don't you think it gets through around 2:00 and you're like, oh, I've only got an hour. The day does go so quick, doesn't it?
At 2:30, the day finishes, doesn't it? The school routine. It
flies by.
2:30, my
it
day.
Really does.
I have to start thinking about getting to the school, to get parked, to get them, or Greg. Actually, Greg does most of the school runs.
But yeah, that was. I know, so does Paul, to be honest. But this week I've felt like Superwoman, so that was good.
Well done.
That was really good. What else I've been up to? Not loads, really. More stuff going on at the house. Oh, I had a really exciting meeting the other day. So you know that I'm coming on board with the charity that I support, Project.
Yes, I see that.
Rescue Children, and they're Australian based and they're all over the world, but they're launching here properly in the UK. And next year we are doing a charity event to raise as much money as we can. Obviously, the charity is based on protecting children and trafficking and paedophilia and all that kind of stuff. So we had a meeting about doing a party, and the reason why I thought about Nobu, because you done your charity event there, didn't you? And I thought that space looked amazing, perfect for what we need. It was really good.
Did it go well?
Yeah, the meeting went really well, and we're just getting availability for the rooms for the room now, because you can get loads of people in there, and obviously the more the better, raise more money. So that was the perfect space. It was just really exciting. I've wanted to be involved with this charity for so long, and it's really exciting actually. Like, I'm really passionate about it, obviously, as you know. So, but yeah, that's for next year. So I had that meeting, which was great. Also, Edward's cheeks are so much better. They've really calmed down.
I was going to say, update us. So he's so is that just through the cream that he's had, or?
So obviously, so what happened was, remember I told you it was like weeping, wasn't it? Well, you did see it, and it was like really bad. So I went and got a topical cream, which I do believe definitely stopped any kind of infection. Then they gave me all these other things, and to be honest, none of it was working, apart from the first lot of topical cream. Obviously, this isn't health advice for anyone that's listening. It's just what works for us. And you know that I'm really into my like homeopathic therapies and holistic and this, that, and the other. So I kind of just... So I'd done the topical cream for the first few days just to really dry up, to make sure I didn't get infection, which worked. And then since then, I was really literally looking into everything. Like, and you know what I'm like, I love all that kind of stuff. And really what came out on top was that anything skin related does come from the gut. It's always about like what you're putting in. So I was like, he only gets everything from me, so from my milk. So I've been giving him like oat baths, so like really gentle on the skin.
Yeah.
I've got this really lovely all-natural balm. I've been like lavering him in every single day, 4 times a day. And then my milk, so I've cut out all like what they would call trigger foods for like babies with sensitive skin or eczema kind of based.
Really?
And I've seen a massive difference. So it's definitely from the gut. And I also ordered these like probiotics for him, like they're obviously for babies, and then you just put a couple of tiny little drops on their tongue every day just to help out like the gut. He obviously has got something going on. And since I've been cutting out things like spicy food, tomatoes, dairy, it's made a massive difference. I don't think he's well, he's not allergic or intolerant, because I sent off a little hair. Did I tell you I sent off a hair sample? So you can send off. I sent off. You should have seen me trying to cut the hair, because he's got like little fluff. So I sent that off. And I got the results, and everything was pretty good. Thankfully, he hasn't got any like severe allergies or anything. But there's like these sort of triggers that could be sensitive to him, and it's all the things that I was obviously eating, like things like spice and even things like tea and like all these different things. And I was like, so it is my milk. It is he's sensitive to in his gut. So I've cut loads of things out this week. Actually, it's been really good for me as well. Like, I feel like I've dropped a few pounds. Like,
I was going to say, like,
I've been cutting
it's
out.
almost been like a little bit of a detox, isn't it? Like a cleanse of you as well.
It has. I'm so conscious, because I'm thinking, obviously, with your babies and your kids, you do anything. And I was thinking, if it's actually coming from, if actually because it's my milk, like, you'd do anything, wouldn't you? And I've been cutting all this stuff out, and I've seen a massive difference. So, yeah. Who's distracting
that is amazing.
you?
Mum.
Is it Mum?
Mum's on her way to you, I think, actually. Come say hi.
Yeah, she said she's going to leave about at 12.
Hello.
Hello, see you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon. So, you know what's quite funny, actually? We should quickly mention what happened this morning. So, Samantha was having a leisurely coffee with her friends after the school run. And Mum had called me this morning and said, what are you up to this morning? I said, I'm just getting ready to record my podcast. Anyway, Mum then obviously rang Samantha, because she's going round to Samantha's house today. And Samantha's obviously said to Mum, I'm just having a coffee with some friends. And Mum was like, aren't you meant to be recording your podcast? And Samantha texted me saying, what time is the pod?
I honestly, if things aren't actually in my diary that we spoke about before, like in the time tree thing, it doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. So I literally have to put everything in. I'm not blaming our group chat, but yesterday it was to and from, wasn't it? What day, what time, what day, what time?
Yeah, it was going on for days.
Wasn't it? Then I got distracted, and I didn't put it in the diary. And honestly, if it's not in my diary, then I don't remember anything, because there's always so much going on. But thank God Mum rang me. I would have just been sitting there carrying on chatting away. So yeah, here we are. I made it. I was only 5 minutes late.
Well, I actually have I have a confession to make. I've had severe baby brain. Like, I've never had baby brain like it. But I think, again, like, there's so much going on. I'll probably let you all know as well that I'm finally moving next week, which I am so excited about. Finally,
you actually
we
moving
have
next
a
week?
moving day. Next week we have a moving day. Yes.
So you've got hot water and you've got carpet
everything.
and
so
all the essentials.
This explains. Yeah, my head has been like scrambled because there's been so much going on, and so yesterday, this is like an epic mum foul. So had both the kids' parents' evenings this week. So I had Arthur's on Wednesday and Nellie's was yesterday. So I knew, even Nellie called me up and was like, Mum, you got my parents' evening tonight. I was like, yeah, no, I know. Because Nellie and Arthur stayed at Mum's last night because we was doing loads of packing and stuff till late, packing up this house. So I'm sitting on my, I had a Zoom call with my interior designer. So I'm sitting there for like ages, chatting away, run over. Anyway, get off of that. I call Mum. I'm on the FaceTime to Mum. Nellie goes, Mum went, oh, how was parents' evening? I was like, you know, when your heart drops.
I done this the other day to Rosie.
Oh, my
carry
God.
on. Tell your story, then I'll tell you mine.
Yeah.
This happened to me.
No. So basically, I got it
wrong
wrong.
with us?
I got my times mixed up and I missed Nellie's parents' evening. And when I
missed Rosie's.
I beat myself up about it all night.
Oh, my.
Like, honestly. And this morning, they FaceTimed me before they went to school, and Nellie was like, how was my parents' evening? I had to tell like a little white lie. I said there was a technical fault with the system because it was on Zoom. Yeah. It's like a Zoom one. There was a technical fault with the system. Mummy's got it later on today or Monday. She went, you know, like she was like really suspicious that she was like, I bet you forgot, didn't you? I was like, no. I was like, of course I didn't, but. I don't know, like, I said to Greg last night, and Greg, you know, like men, they don't really get it, do they? He wasn't really making it any better. Like, he didn't even,
get the
he was
fog
like,
that we get.
He went to me, he was like, and then, but he made it worse. I was like, you could just say, oh, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Just get another appointment. Yeah. I'm sure the teacher will chat to you. But he actually made it worse. And I was like, you're not making me feel any better about this now. Like, I feel so bad because had Arthur's the night before and it was all good. And honestly, so I felt awful.
This exact thing, when you started telling this story, I was thinking, I bet she missed it. This happened to me last week, right? So we had the slots like you do, and they're only like 10 or 15 minutes. It was on a Saturday.
10 minutes.
So that's what threw me, I think. My appointment was on a Saturday. Gosh. We was at gymnastics anyway. My friend Lucy rang me, like one of the school mums, same class as Rosie, and she was like, oh, are you here? Like, are you here? And I was like, where? And then I just come over me and I was like, oh no. I went, are you at the school for the parents thing? I was like, I'm at gymnastics. I've completely forgot. Anyway, we had it yesterday instead. So we like got round to it and I was like, she was laughing down the phone. She was like, well, can you come here now? And I was like, well, not really. I've completely missed it. My slot was an hour ago. But,
I think your excuse is probably a bit better though. Saturday's quite fun.
Yes, it was a Saturday. It was an odd one, yeah. I've got Paul's this weekend as well, actually. I won't be forgetting that one. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp.
Would you say you're a good problem solver?
It depends, really. When I get stressed and stuff gets on top of me, I definitely struggle.
I think we all do, which is why having a different mindset can help you become a better problem solver. And a therapist can help you with that.
So if you're thinking of trying therapy, BetterHelp is a great place to start.
BetterHelp is entirely online, so it's really accessible and affordable too, and you can change your therapist at any point.
Therapy can help you unload stress and help with depression and anxiety.
So when you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/Sam and Billie today to get 10% off your first month.
That's betterhelp.com/Sam and Billie. So Alice messaged us on Instagram and asked, what words do your kids get wrong but sound funny? My daughter says cocks instead of crocs. Oh my God.
Classic.
That is hilarious.
Arthur always says harden instead of pardon. It's not that funny, but he always goes harden. I'm like,
harden?
Pardon with a pardon with a P. You know it's got a P, but he still says harden, and it's quite cute actually.
There's so many funny ones. Look, loads of people wrote in. Holly said, my 2-year-old said shit instead of sheep. Shit. Amy said, my little girl gets her words slightly wrong and says willies instead of wellies. Another easy mistake. Zoe said, my daughter used to say pirate ship, but it sounded like pile of shit. That is really funny.
Pile of
I
shit.
can really hear that as well. Kate said, my son had a girl in his class called Jemima, but he kept saying vagina.
Oh, that's really fun. Do you know what? That's really funny actually, because Nelly and Arthur was in the bath the other day, and I was sort of like, you know, when you're pottering around, and I was in and out the bathroom, and I heard Nelly go, oh, stop it, that's my vagina, right? And I thought, vagina? What's that? Right, so I was like, vagina? She was like, yeah.
Vagina,
she was like, that's the right, she was like, that's the correct word, mummy, for, you know, like, nunny. And I was like, it's actually vagina. I was like, vagina,
right. Honey.
And she thought she got it all right.
That's hilarious.
By being, vagina.
Yeah, coming out there, like owning it.
Yeah, vagina.
That's really funny.
I'm trying.
This is more in here. Look, my son always points out flags after learning about them in nursery. However, he can't pronounce F very well, so he always shouts, "Mummy, there's a slag."
That one could get you in trouble if you was out and about.
Could you imagine just pointing like, and then, "Mummy, there's a slag." That's hilarious. My mum always laughs and tells me that when we used to have a curry, I would ask for commodoms instead of poppadoms.
Commodoms. That's really funny.
Commodoms. Kids are so cute. They're so innocent, aren't they?
Quite similar, but it's not really like a word he's tried to replace. But I never forget. Can you remember the time I was on? I think it was one of my first ever shoots for the Asda, the George collection. And Arthur, and there was like loads of people there. Like I was trying to be very professional. Like the kids were on the shoot, and Arthur was about 2, and he sat on the step and shouted out "bollocks!" Right, and he was just sat there like this little sweet, innocent blonde.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was on the show on the Mummy Diaries. We was filming as well, just to add to the insult. He sat on the step and just shouted it out about 3 times, right? And I was like, what?
Oh, it's so funny. Do you remember Mum said that when I was younger, I once called her a wanker. Like, but of all words. Remember, we was like,
all words.
That's the weirdest swear word. Like, it's just not used anymore. It's such an old school kind of, I don't know, like, who uses that anymore? Anyway,
clearly
remember Mum said that she was mortified and like,
your 2-year-old self.
Mum said that she was, and she said that she was mortified and was crying. Do you remember? Paul's one of them that, like, if he's heard a swear word or someone said something and I go, well, what did they say? He doesn't want to repeat it. You know, like Paul's that kid. It's like, I go, don't worry, you can whisper it to Mummy, and then he'll like, he really reluctant to say it because he just knows, he's like, doesn't want to say it because it's like, whereas Rosie, I don't think, I think she'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, Arthur's the opposite. Arthur would want to say it to tell me just so he can say it. You know, like just so he knows he said it. Yeah. Whereas Nelly would be a little bit more reluctant. Although I never forget once when Nelly again was about 2, and she was putting a pair of wellies on, or trying to put a pair of wellies on. She might have been 3, I can't remember. And she was going, "Fut in hell, fut in hell, fut in hell." Yeah,
I remember this. I remember she said it a few times. Yeah, but do you know what's really funny is that when the kids swear, when they're little, like 2, they get it in the right context, don't they? They do it. They say it in the right. Yeah.
Like how? And obviously,
that's what's the funniest
she'd obviously
thing.
Heard it from someone, not from me, because I don't swear.
Not you.
But no, it's like it's not funny, but I do think like we've all been there as parents. Like if your child says a swear word, but you just have to try and like ignore it, don't you?
It's
but
really
sometimes
funny.
Their little voices sound so mad, doesn't it? Like
I can't really remember a pinpoint, but I remember that there's been loads of occasions where Paul and Rosie, when they was younger, like 2, have sworn, and me and Paul have looked at each other like, oh, but then like you can't like
you just have
can't
to
help but
ignore it.
smile.
Because if you start telling them off, then they think, I've got something here. I've got something on you.
And I look at Paul and I like raise my eyebrows like, because I hardly ever swear. Ever.
So neither do
It's just not in my
I
vocabulary.
don't. Same.
I sometimes think,
don't.
Shit. Like if I drop something or like that is as far as it goes. Whereas Paul, it's like in the vocabulary. And sometimes I'm like, can you stop? It's just like, it's just in his vocabulary. It's not in mine. This episode is sponsored by Heights, a quality supplement that can help you feel your best.
We're both big fans of taking care of ourselves from the inside out, and Heights Super Supplement is a great way to improve your sleep, sharpen your focus, and improve your immune system.
It's really easy to take. You just have 2 capsules a day and it will contain 20 high-quality vitamins, minerals and antioxidants to help take care of your whole body.
It really helps with things like your brain fog, energy, and even improve your mood too.
You can take the Smart Supplement with or without food at any time of the day, and it gets delivered straight to your door with a simple to manage subscription so you never run out.
So we have a treat for you. To help you get started with brain care, Heights has given all of our listeners an extra 15% off your first subscription with the code Sam and Billie in capital letters.
Go to yourheights.com and use code Sam and Billie at checkout to get your exclusive discount and start taking care of your brain and body today.
And remember to always read the label when pregnant and breastfeeding. I had my first ever hypnobirthing session this week.
Oh, I'm really glad that you've done it. So what did you think? I see that you've done it with Wise Hippo. That's who I done it with years ago with Paul.
So,
what do you think? Tell us all. Tell the listeners what you think.
Well, I loved it. I thought it was really like amazing. So I done it with a girl called Georgia, and she come round. So we done it in the comfort of our own home. We done quite a few hours in one session. Like usually you do a longer course, but because time is very limited at the moment, we've sort of like condensed
done a crash
it down.
Course.
So and then we're going to do like one more, just like a couple of weeks before the baby comes. So I thought it was amazing. Like really. Like, so basically, I said to her, I was really laughing. I was like, it's like couples therapy for me and Greg. I said, we haven't really spoken about this baby. And to be like really honest with you, I think baby number 3, as you know, it's just a little bit different. You sort of just get on with it. You're busy with 2 other children. Because we're moving house, everything that's really taken over at the moment. We haven't really had a second to be like, we are having another baby. And the baby is due in like 8 weeks' time. So anyway, it was really nice to like us, because Greg was involved as well. So he sat through most of the session with me. And
it's actually really important for them because he's your birthing partner, so he literally needs to understand the process, doesn't he? Like with
the process and what to do, and even I was thinking, oh my gosh, should have had Mum and Mamp here as well, actually. But I can
just quickly to butt in. Sorry, now you've done that. Do you realise when I've always done that breathing, now you kind of understand where I was at mentally
and the humming
in labour? The humming. Do you know? now you kind of understand
she was like,
it.
Hum
Makes
your
sense
baby
now.
down, like and it was. Do you know what? It was just so interesting, and it was so right because I always had an opinion on hypnobirthing that it was a little bit like airy fairy, and you have to be that kind of person to be into it, and that's why I'd never done it. I'd never done it with Nellie or Arthur. So, but there's so much science behind the methods that you're using in labour and the techniques and the skills, isn't there? So, and I've learned so much as well, which I didn't know about giving birth. Like, although it's the 3rd time,
absolutely,
like, it's just you can never know too much, can you?
That's it. And also, I feel like the way that they approach it is it's very calm and like it's very like. It makes you feel like
Zen.
What's the right word? Like you feel like you're anxious. It makes you feel kind of like to enjoy it, like almost
enjoy
it into your head, isn't it? Rather than being stressed and
that's exactly
anxious
it.
And
she done like a not where they hypnotise you, but you know, like where you go into like the meditation side of thing. And me and Greg just sat there with our eyes closed for like 20 minutes. It was so nice just to relax, like, and chill out. But it was, really good. So I really enjoyed that this week. I know. I was like, we're
surprised you didn't fall asleep.
I think Greg nearly did fall asleep. Really did. Like he was like practically snoring. But
don't you just love that feeling?
So
though?
that
like,
was really good.
It's like you're at a spa or something, and you literally go into that like proper relaxation, which happens rarely, doesn't it, as an adult?
Oh gosh,
so nice. So I'm really distracted because I just had my results come through for Edward's hair. Right.
Oh,
I think I actually think I know what it is. This is amazing. This is like a detailed analysis of his hair.
What? So
it just popped up.
What have they checked?
Everything, like literally, it's a real in detail for like food, environment. One that's come up as a red. I can't believe it. This is gonna.
What?
This is tea, white tea.
No way.
What am I going to do?
You've
for
got
the
to
next
sacrifice the tea now.
however long I'm breastfeeding.
What about decaf?
Bizarre. No, decaf. I don't think decaf's that good for you, actually. I looked into that as well.
Oh my God, that is
ages ago.
crazy.
White tea, and that is what I have.
You probably drink how many cups a day? 4 or 5?
Well, exactly. Poor boy. I've drank that the whole pregnancy as well.
Maybe because you drank so much in pregnancy, you might be thinking, rejecting it.
I done it with just because I think people might actually be interested to do this as well for their babies. Actually, you can do it for yourself. I done it with a company called Nature Liu. So NATURE LLIEU, like YOU Nature Liu Holistic Health. Yeah, it's really interesting. There's loads of different things. I won't go into it, but how interesting is that? I want to do it for me, myself. We love answering your dilemmas, guys, and giving recommendations, so keep them coming. On the Sam and Billie Show Instagram, so you can either DM us, guys, or you can email us at samandbillie@crowdnetwork.co.uk. Yeah, I do like a dilemma/recommendation. We have got a dilemma.
We've got a dilemma here.
Go for it, Billie.
My partner has close female associates, and it sometimes bothers me. How can I stop it? Oh, I totally get it. Mm-hmm. For example, he'll message one of his bosses, "Love you, so-and-so." What? No.
That's not normal.
And when I question him, he says, "She's been helping me out with stuff at work. I've known her for 15 years. I messaged that to my male friends as well, which I know he definitely does. So am I just being over the top and insecure? And someone he briefly went out with years ago, we saw at a friend's party. He messaged her that night, "Love ya, good to see you. It plays on my mind daily. We have children together, etc. And he hasn't done anything wrong. I just need a way to shake it off. Have Paul or Greg got any close females in their lives, and does it bother you?"
No, Paul hasn't got any, obviously apart from
Greg
family.
Just has his sisters.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I think.
Me, his mum, and then that's it. Just, like, there's just family, isn't it?
Yeah, family.
Obviously Claudia, which is Tony's, but no.
It would really bother me, I'm not going to lie. It would really bother me. And it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you get different personalities of people.
Yeah,
right?
this is what I was going to say.
And you might get them.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you get them sort of people that might go, "Oh, I love you," and like put you up, and they're just like everyone's friend.
Yes, yep.
But I think
but maybe this isn't the case, because if he was, I feel like this isn't the case, because I thought sometimes you just get them people that like love you every time you see everyone.
Love you, yeah.
But she wouldn't be writing in. I think if that. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you writing in? It's obviously not that kind of guy, and it's just like weird. She's obviously thinking it's weird for him to write "love you."
Number one, that would really irritate me. That would really bug me. Like, I think we should say straight away, you're in every, like, you have every right to question this, and feel a little bit strange, about this. I think you should be. I think that she should definitely be honest and say something to her partner.
I wonder if, like, if she was role reversal, if she was speaking to her colleagues and had lots of close male friends and was like texting them after a night out, love you to see you. How would he feel about that? You don't do.
Even
You don't
the lovely to see you.
ex.
Like it's not necessary. Like
It's so unnecessary.
Like, why feel the need to do that?
I don't think this is good. I think she should confront, and I think you should say maybe, like what I just said, like if it was the other way around, how would you feel about it? But then sometimes those type of people might be like, no, I wouldn't care. You know, like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes she might be in a little bit of a vicious circle with it.
I think it would be, like, I don't know if we're the minority here, but I think I would find it really weird if Greg had a really close gal pal. I'm sorry, it would really irritate me.
I agree.
I would be like, no, sorry. It's like if I was really close to a guy. Listen, I know I've got loads of friends and, you know, I've got gay friends, but if I was really close to a guy that...
A straight guy.
I don't know, a straight guy, I think Greg would find that really weird. And I think Paul would as well.
100%. Oh,
it's just, you just don't... I don't know. I just don't... No. Doesn't sit
and
well.
I do understand, because I've got a close friend that has got like a really kind of like she's really high up in her job, and she's works with lots of men, and I've actually been to one of her work events, and it is like loads of men, and she's kind of like one of the females that are kind of running it all. And I understand sometimes work relationships, you do become closer and this, that and the other, but not like that. Not like love you. I don't know. It's, I think, can you let us know, whoever this is, anonymous, what you do and what the outcome is? Because I'm actually really interested to know on this one, to be honest. Right, okay, moving on. Recommendation. Hey, Sam and Billy, absolutely love listening to you guys on the podcast every week. Please could I ask you for recommendations on places to go / restaurants to visit in London that are suitable choice for a toddler too. It's my birthday in November and my daughter will be 17 months. She's well behaved overall, but want to make sure that we take her somewhere where children are welcomed, but also nice as she is third wheeling on our day date. Thanks, girlies. London. Right. Child friendly. It's a tough one. Like, what does she want to do? Go for it.
That's a really tricky age. Do you know what my advice would be? Try and get a babysitter.
London.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I've done.
It is
hard. I can list off loads of nice restaurants in London and places to go with kids, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just the generics. Do you know what I mean? Because stay local. I don't know.
I think of how many times we have done it, right? And sometimes, like, sorry, I know that's not great advice. Get a babysitter, but like genuinely, I've done it so many times where when the kids were little and thought, oh, let's go for afternoon tea like today and take the kids, you know, have a nice day in London. But it's actually sometimes more stress than it's worth. And then you sort of think, like, you get all like, I don't know, you're in places that aren't child friendly. So
I guess you could do something like the aquarium. Do you know, like on the embankment? Is it on the embankment? The
Well, I was going to suggest actually the
aquarium, the big wheel
is quite good for kids because
they have like little food markets, don't they? Is it a food market?
Yeah, and there's quite a lot going on there, like for that age to look at, to see. Like the last few times we've been into London, that's where we've gone. Yeah.
Do you know what? I would put the baby in the buggy, go around the aquarium, really lovely things to look at, and then they've got a food market. If you wanted to be even more of a tourist, you could go on the big wheel. Mind you, she's probably a bit young. We won't appreciate it. I don't know.
The South Bank's quite good though because there is like and you get like all the juggling acts.
Let me just check.
It's buzzy. And then also you've got Borough Market, which loads of different food
you can wander about. Where's the thing that I actually popped up the other day, and it looked quite good in London? Oh, that's it. Shrek. Is it called Shrek?
Oh yeah,
that's on the embankment. There we go. Shrek Adventure London. So that is where the aquarium is and all that. So you could literally do a full day of kids funness down there.
But then it's like, do you want, like, if you're doing a kids' day, I get what she's asking. I feel like she wants to do something nice, but that's quite child friendly. But I actually almost feel like I'm yet to find it.
Is it a little girl?
Me and Greg always say, we're always like,
because what about Elan
Calf? That's the kids in London. Yeah.
See, I quite like, but it's shut at the moment, the Dorchester on a Sunday. You could go there in the grill for a Sunday dinner. Actually, I think the Dorchester is open, but they've got all work going on out the front. So you could have a really lovely Sunday roast dinner in the grill, and then right opposite you can cross the road and it's Hyde Park, and you could just like, you know, take a walk in the park. Oh, that's a
nice idea.
They've got ducks, they've got those little pedalo things.
That sort of hotel's quite nice because it's
very family. And also, when you sit in that grill, although it sounds like it's going to be quite posh, which it is, there is a lot of families in there, so you don't have. It's not like quiet. Yeah. And on a Sunday, they do have like a bit of a DJ. It's really random, isn't it? It's like a bit of a DJ music thing going on.
It's got an atmosphere,
buzzy. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Maybe do that for your birthday. Ask us anything. We've got 3 on here. Right, first one is, do you have any Halloween traditions? You do. You're quite good with Halloween, aren't you?
Yeah, I really enjoy Halloween. And Arthur is obsessed with Halloween. Like, so actually, it was really funny. Yeah, he's obsessed with it. He's like, me and Mum was calling him the Halloween boy the other day. But this is really funny, right? So when we was younger, Ma'am, if you'll remember, Mum always done us a Halloween party every year. And they were so much fun, wasn't they? They were brilliant. There used to be this game called Get the Grit Out the Eye. Can you remember the game? Mum and her friend used to blindfold all of us kids. They used to cut a tomato in half, right? Obviously, we never knew it was a tomato until we become adults. And it used to be basically like, imagine like closing your eye, like not being able to see, and like putting your finger in a tomato. Like, we used to think it was like getting the grit out of someone's eye,
of like a witch's eye or something. Yeah,
witch's eye. But so the other day, it's really funny, I got this bunch of flowers sent to me, and it come with all these like little jelly orbs, right? They were like must have been to keep it.
I know. Like, I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
Like they little, like, so like fish eggs.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So it was really funny, right? I said to Mum, save them. The kids will be back from school in a minute. Let's start Halloween like trick on them. So we said, right, come and then blindfold you. You've got to put your hand in this bowl and guess what it is. Oh, there was all dramas. They wouldn't. Well, eventually Nellie done it. Arthur wouldn't do it. Nellie done it. Well, it was the funniest thing. Like, she put her hand in this bowl. She was going, ooh, what is it? She had a blindfold on, and I went, it's fish eggs, right? Her face. She went like it completely dropped, and then she ripped the blindfold off. But she was the fear, right? She started crying, and but when I nearly wet myself, right, with laughing. Cruel Mum, because it was like she was all like, "Oh, what is it?" But she then believed when I said it's fish eggs, right?
Yeah,
her face completely changed, but you know, like where she'd got herself so like scared.
Yes,
so why fish eggs? That she cried.
Do you know what made me laugh? Do you know what I just thought of then? Because Mum used to do all sorts of strange things when we was younger. I'm surprised we're normal. Do you remember when Mum used to sit on the bed, right? Like, so we would be in the room, and she would sit in the middle of the bed and do this thing where she would like have her eyes really wide open and just like stare around the room, and then like lock her eyes on us. And then, do you remember this? And we used to like run and scream.
Yes, yeah.
It was actually really weird. Like, she used to like it.
But did she just used to do that in general? It wasn't Halloween tradition, was it?
I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. It was actually really frightening. I don't know. And she used to like sit on the bed. It was almost like she was like possessed or something, and she'd be like that, then possessed. Go. Ah! And I really remember I used to actually being quite scared of her, thinking, "Oh, what's happened?" And also, do you remember the time when Mum tried to convince us that she could fly?
We spoke about this before. I remember that.
Right,
and she jumped off the coffee table.
Mum, me and Dad had picked us up from school. Me and Billie had got home from school, and Mum was like, "Oh, I've got something really, really important to tell you all." So me, you and Dad was like, what's happened? Like, I think at the time, she was going a little bit stir crazy, stay at home housewife. She went to me and you, I can fly. And we was like, Dad went, oh, shut up, whatever. Do you remember, me and you was like, what do you mean? She was like,
we need to confront Mum about this, actually, and get her reaction.
Yeah, we should actually. And she said, she stood on the coffee table, she jumped off the coffee table and flapped her arms really fast. Do you remember?
I do remember, yeah. How so bizarre. Weird.
And then we was like, that's not flying. She was like, look at my... Do you remember she was trying to convince us, and Dad went, you've lost the plot. Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah, and then it just sort of like, we all just had to carry on with our day as normal. You know, my mum's just tried to fly off the coffee table, but you know. Other Halloween traditions, we always trick or treat in our house. You're not very big on Halloween, are you?
No, Paul's not into it at all. Big Paul.
Oh, see, we love it.
He's not into it.
Me and Mum are already planning a scare. We're already
Mum's
planning
scares
how
are really
to scare
scary.
the kids this year. No, Mum's. I've got a really good one for my new house. What I'm going to do. It's so cruel, but it is.
Tell us.
I love Halloween.
Tell us the plan.
Right, so I've got these. Right, so I've got these like glass, like what are they called, like flat. You know, like what are they called? You know, like
Velux
glass. Yeah, but they're not Velux. They're just like flat glass bits in my kitchen area in my new house.
Oh, anyway, yes.
Yeah, like that.
Just to let light in, right? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Light in, yeah. You probably gather what. So anyway, we're going to get like a really scary looking like doll or dummy, and we're going to get it on. So it'll be like laying flat over one of them, and then we're not going to make a deal of it. We're just going to be in the kitchen, pottering around until one of them
I'm
notices.
scared thinking about it.
Oh, we've been thinking of all sorts.
Poor kids, they're going to have nightmares for weeks. Okay, you're going to have to film their reactions.
Like,
yeah,
I will. But they want like, you know,
I know
they
what
love
you mean.
it, but then they don't. You know, like they love it, but then they don't. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Arthur's like because Mum always comes around and scares them every year as well, doesn't she? Mum always dresses up as something. Actually, I've got that is another tradition. Nanny Susie scaring the kids. Anyway,
Can we show you my
next
present?
Question.
This is so off topic. Should I show you a present that I got you?
Oh yeah, thanks.
One sec.
Yes, please.
It's an ungifting. Sorry, for people who are listening rather than watching. I will explain.
Russell.
Right, so it's this. Let me get it out.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm unboxing. So, look. It's
that is so... Is it Christmas?
Baby's first Christmas.
Oh, that is so... Have you got this for Edward as well?
No, they didn't do Edward's size.
Oh,
I got him something similar.
Get them together.
Bib.
Oh, my God, that is beautiful.
Billie, look how tiny.
You. Oh my God, that is so lovely.
Baby's first Christmas, and it's got
you.
a little reindeer. How cute! It's that brand Kissy Kissy. You know, they're like really soft.
That is, I love the cotton is so soft on that brand. At least someone's bought this little baby something. I haven't bought the baby anything.
I'm going to get other bits, but I saw it and I thought that is going to sell out. Like, do you know, that like when it gets to November, all the Christmas baby stuff disappears.
Thank you. That is so lovely. That is really lovely.
I'll put it back in the bag. But yeah, I just saw it and thought of my niece or nephew to be.
Oh, I know. That's the thing. You don't even know.
Right, okay, so next.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you think to gender reveals, and would you do it if you did one? Right, so gender reveals. I think it's fine. I know it's like another big thing for Instagram, but I had this really amazing idea. I said to Paul, this obviously we didn't do a gender reveal, but if I was going to find out what I was having and I was going to do a gender reveal, I would go all in. And did you ever see that one on TikTok where they were in the Maldives or somewhere and then the seaplane flies over them and then lets out a colour, blue or pink?
Oh, do you know who done that? Charlotte Crosby.
Oh, did she?
She done that, not in the Maldives. She done it, I think, maybe in Manchester or so, but it was all on a rooftop, and the aeroplane let out the Yeah, she done
Right,
that.
okay, so they were in, like, it looked like the Maldives. It was blue and then white sand, and like, you know, like the seaplanes are a sort of an iconic thing out there, aren't they? And they're standing with their back to the sea, and then the plane shoots over them, and then like all the mist, and they was like, yeah, I was like, that is so cool. It's very extra and over the top, cool. I know, but if I was going to do it, I would love to have done it like that, but I didn't find out what I was having. What about you?
I don't know if you'll remember this, right? But I actually done a gender reveal for when I was pregnant with Nelly on Towie. Can you remember this? Would you have left the show by then? Had you have left the show by then?
I think so.
So, this is hilarious, right? And bear in mind, gender reveal was not a thing back then. Like, everyone does it now, don't they? Like, parties and... So, it wasn't really a thing. So, I actually done one. I done it for Nelly, and we was all in Nubar. And I cut the cake.
Yes, I was there.
And Greg,
I was actually there.
And I cut the cake, and I pulled it out, and it was a pink slice.
Yes. Now you've said the
cake. And everyone like cheered.
I was there.
Yeah, can you remember? It was so many years ago. Obviously, that would have been like 9 years ago. 9 years ago, that would have been. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Sorry, I'm tapping away because I want to have a look on Billie Fair's gender reveal Towie. Nah, I haven't got it. It's too long ago. Can't see it.
It was, and I cut the cake and it was like a pink slice.
There's some really funny pictures that have come up though. Wow, we look so different 10 years ago.
I know.
Oh, look
I
at
actually
me.
don't think you look as different as what I do. I feel like...
No, you look a lot...
When I see
your face has changed way more than mine.
Completely changed.
And also your
hair.
My
face was so chubby.
If you could see this picture right now of you, Greg, and Nelly, I think it was your OK cover. Actually, Greg doesn't look too different.
Greg's
you have just given birth. No, but he's smiling without his teeth in this picture, so obviously he was conscious.
No.
And then there's a cover of me, you, and Nelly. How weird!
No, can you remember that? I remember that cover, me, you, and Nelly done.
So Billie and Sam Fairs on how Billie's daughter Nelly has brought them closer. Sam brackets Nelly made me feel maternal. I can't wait to have children. This is hilarious. Right, anyway,
crazy.
Sorry, I'm going off. Okay, last one. What do you do with clothes you don't wear anymore? Me and Rosie did the keep or delete. Go on, what do you do?
Keep or delete. So we either take them down to we've got so much stuff in this house that we need to get rid of, because where we've been clearing out, you can imagine it's overloaded. Mm-hmm. So we just bag everything up, and it either goes to Haven House charity shop, which a load of this stuff will be going to actually next week. We spoke to them last night.
Yeah.
And just have a massive there's going to be loads of toys, clothes, everything. I think the shop's in Romford and Loughton. But there's I forget the name of it.
I do. So do you know what we do? There's 3 different options that I do. One is to donate. 2 hand-me-downs. Sometimes obviously our cousins or friends or someone you think it might suit and do. Or if it's a high-end or a designer, I like to do the reselling. So there's companies out there now that can clean it all up and they sell it for you, and then you make some money back as well. And that's things that are more expensive. Do you know, more of a luxury item. But most of the stuff is just kind of donating it. There's really good, obviously there's really good apps as well, that you can sell your things through as well, which everyone loves, because everyone loves a little bit of sustainability, don't they? Right, well that's all we've got enough for today, guys. So thank you. That was a lovely catch up.
Thank you so much.
So next week when we do our podcast, are you going to be in the house, your new house?
Depends what day we do it.
Could be the week after.
Yes.
Right, this is exciting. Can't wait. So exciting.
Finally.
Okay, well, love you. Bye, sis.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.